Welcome to my nutshell video, a cut down version of the main material. Please help by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. This video is about overloading methods. If you've seen any of my other videos before, you'll know I'm a procedural programmer learning object-oriented programming for the first time. These videos have been made to run alongside my blog, which contains much more information and insight into the things I'm learning. Be careful because it's easy to confuse overloading and overriding. Overriding methods is a different thing altogether. For the technically minded, overloading methods is a very simple type of polymorphism. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the term polymorphism because it sounds much fancier than it is. For now, the following definition is enough to allow us to get to grips with overloading. The ability to be able to call a function, and that function to be able to execute different code and hence behave differently depending on how it was originally called. To understand why we actually need method overloading, the best thing to do is to first of all write a simple example that doesn't use it. We can then modify it to show the difference. We will create a class called addingMachine, and give this class two distinct methods: addInt and addString. We will then call each method in turn. You can see that the programmer made the decision in code as to which method to call. You can see from the console window that the methods function as expected. The program flow demonstrates how the programmer makes a hard-coded decision as to which method to call. When overloading, this decision is made for you. Overloading allows us to give each of the different methods the same name and to let the compiler decide which to execute. We'll modify the names of the two original methods. You can see in the example both methods are now called add. The difference is one method requires integers passing in. The other requires strings. When we write our code, rather than calling the addInt or addString method, we just call the add method. The compiler makes the decision as to which version of the add method needs to be called. Taking another look at the console window, we can see that the results were exactly the same as before, but this time the decision about which code to execute was made by the compiler. The program flow for overloading shows the common add method being called. Depending on the parameters passed in, the correct version of the code is executed. In conclusion, be aware, overloading is not overriding. Overloading in object-oriented programming is a form of polymorphism. Overloading in object programming is where multiple methods within the same class have the same name. The method that is ultimately used is determined by matching it with the signature of the parameters used in the call. One of the main benefits of overloading methods is that the code becomes much easier to read. The class just has one method to perform a function. This is regardless of whether the code needed to perform that function differs. For instance, if you want to perform an action that can be described in one phrase, like add or calculate area, you don't have to keep repeating the method with different names for different versions of it. For example, addInt and addString can both have the same name, as can calculate area of circle and calculate area of square. Thank you for watching this in a nutshell video. Why not check out the full version on my channel? Or if you're interested in the concepts and ideas, take a read of my blog which goes into the whats, whys and wherefores. If you found it in any way useful, please take the time to like and subscribe.